So what happens is that I see that my mind is chattering, and I feel the discomfort. I see that it's going non-stop. It is contemplating scenarios. Either I'm thinking about the past or I'm concerned about the future. And there is this dialogue going on in the background, which continuously brings about a sense of discomfort, a sense of pain. So I see my mind as the source of my suffering. And this is something that a lot of people struggle with, the non stop thinking that goes on in the mind. And there are a lot of people out there who try to provide a solution to this problem. So they tell you that, okay, do meditation, do japa, try to control the mind, try to focus it on this thought or that thought. And what that implies is that somehow, if I practice something, then after a certain period, that means the time, my mind will become silent. Then there will be no dialogues and I will be in complete bliss. But you see, what is happening here is that there is one thought which is coming up, and it is the content of that thought brings about this painful, this uncomfortable sensation in the body. And then there is simultaneously another thought which sees this first thought as the source of discomfort. Now the other thought says that I do not want to feel this discomfort of the chattering mind. So it contemplates steps, tips, tricks, methods, and what it believes is that if it does something about this, there will be a time in future that I will be my mind will be completely silent. But you see, these two thoughts are a part of the same movement. That is why mind is so tricky, because we feel that we must do something about this. But the entire doing of something and trying to stop the mind from chattering itself becomes the source of suffering. That is something which itself propagates the suffering. There are people who advocate methods to stop the thinking, using meditation, japa, or other techniques. But that itself propagates the suffering. Because as it is, the mind is doing, and then you give it another thing to do. So you are not seeing the mind in totality. So you see, if you are able to see, let's think of it like this. If I give you a third alternative, a third scenario, and I tell you that, what if instead of quieting your mind, instead of practicing something, a technique, a meditation, or something, and trying to use that process, that technique to quieten the mind, what if the content of consciousness that brings about the discomfort, the pain, that becomes irrelevant? Think about this. If what is arising within me as a thought is something that I see through and through, what happens is that in that total vision, my separation with that thought ends. In other words, I become the thought. So there is no individual thinker of the thought. The thought is seen simply for what it is. And the sensations, the discomfort, the pain, whatever arises from it is also seen. So what happens there then is that there is no resistance to anything. So the chattering mind itself then is not seen as a problem. It is just simply accepted for what it is. Can the thoughts be stopped? Yes, in meditation, temporarily the thoughts may cease. And that gives a temporary relief for some time. But again, the thinking mind comes up. Again, the thoughts start arising. So I do not know of any method, any practice, any technique that can completely stop the mind from thinking. Because that is not the way life is designed. The thinking, even in the sage is a person who has the complete understanding of the process. Even in the sage, the thinking comes up. The emotions arise. The discomfort comes up. The only difference is that in case of the sage, the pain does not propagate in horizontal time as suffering. In other words, he sees that he is not separate from the content that produces discomfort. So he sees the discomfort for what it is. And then there is no resistance. He does not contemplate any steps to change it. But this is the problem with the ego mind. Ego mind wants a solution, but it never looks at the question. Now, if the chattering does not produce a discomfort, then if it continues, simply am not concerned with it. I see that it is happening, so it is happening. That's it. That's the end of it. But if I want to end it, to suppress it, to find a solution for it, then I'm in trouble, because then whatever I'm doing to achieve that, thinking that it will produce a result in time, creates more suffering, more pain.